Привет, смертные! Вы на канале Офигеймеры, с вами Мом. Сейчас будем обозревать стрим от разрабов. Стрим замечательный, будет идти 30 минут. Но перед этим, правда, 30 минут надо подождать. Прошу сильно меня санными тряпками не бросать, мой английский оставляет желать лучшего. Сейчас посмотрим. Но я попробую донести суть, о чем они говорили. Так, стрим скоро начнется. Сейчас. Уже скоро. Уже вот-вот. Ответы и вопросы. Ну-ну.
Уберите! Уберите это мурло от меня!
Привет тебе, жертва гамбургеров.
Session. I'm gonna start by introducing Mr. Stefan Orvat. He's a regular. You guys know him.
Да, обязательно представь нам их. Хрен в кепке и хрен в кепке перевернутый.
Just today.
Well, today. Yes, today. With us all the time on the team, but today on the stream. Guys, first off, I want to say welcome to everyone that joined us, but also our mods that are in chat as well. CM's taking care of everything in the back over there. Just a quick recap. We had the anniversary live stream last week. It was absolutely insane. I don't know if you guys saw, but we...
Да, мы все видели этот стрим.
It was more nervous than this, yeah.
It is very different than this setup, which we are very used to, and it feels like we're, you know, just talking about the game, really relaxed. Over there in front of 200 people, live, and...
Хватит чесать свое ЧСВ. Да, вас много посмотрело. Что вы после этого сделали?
Absolutely insane. It was really a crazy experience. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it once it was done.
Как же ты мерзко ржешь.
Okay, so on this, PTB went live this week on Tuesday. We're 2 days in. There's already a lot of feedback, so we're gonna address that a little later. Reminder, we have a blood hunt coming up. So June 14
Да,
to
круто.
June
Двойные
18.
БП с 14 по 18. Все уже знают. Завязывай.
More blood points. We also have a lot of community activities. Those are set up on the schedule.
Да, действительно, очень много активности от вашего комьюнити. Вы выпустили Крига, который оказался говном.
By the way, for accepting to do this. This is awesome.
That's sick.
And we also, to prepare these Q&A, we normally use the forums to gather a lot of questions. So for the next
Лучше чат сделали прямо на стриме.
Forum post up. So
Вам бы много туда написали.
I know everyone's asking about Ghostface right away. The Ghost
Face.
Никто про него не спрашивает. Все говорят, что он говно.
So I'm gonna start though by saying there's a known issue with graphics settings. They cannot be changed in full screen mode. So there's a workaround for now before we can fix it. You go in window mode to change.
Не знаю, у меня бага с фуллскрином не было.
So that's one thing.
Идите
There it
нафиг.
is. Ghostface. So as everyone know, PTB launched 2
Ghostface.
days ago.
Fuckerface.
Already a lot of feedback. So Steph, what was our objective?
Я бы даже сказал фейспалм.
With Ghostface?
So with Ghostface, obviously we wanted to have a stealth killer. I think we have all the components to do so. There have just been some things that haven't actually ironed out like we expected them to obviously. With each killer that we make, ultimately we don't have it down to
Оправдывайся теперь.
finding their specific power level and how strong they'll be in live when everyone else is playing it is always a pleasant surprise depending on where it goes, obviously. But we're always looking towards this and trying to tweak things. So
Ну да. Вы не хотели его делать таким, но сделали.
I'm going to look at specifically feedback and what people have been saying to try to encompass what we've been hearing and what we will be working on as well.
So what specific feedback are we addressing on this one?
So right now canceling stealth is too easy. As people have seen, so when a survivor looks at Ghostface, for 1 second he gets taken out of his power and his power goes on cooldown. There is a bug with it at the moment, so if you're already
Это не баг, вы таким его сделали. Теперь пытаетесь отмазаться. Сраные хитрожопы.
These things will be tweaked and fixed as we go forward. Stalking right now is not as efficient as we'd like it to be.
Да даже вы, если его пофиксите, он все равно будет слабым.
Compared to how quickly they can get you out of stealth is not a nice balance right now.
Yeah.
So we'll be addressing that as well.
And there was a lot of feedback about audio, specifically on Ghostface as well.
Yeah, like popping in and out of the power. These are also things that we're going to be tweaking. I can't give you the exact changes that we're going to be doing right now, but we are testing it in-house, and we're going to give you more information when we know. We'd love for you to be patient, of course. Send your suggestions. We're here to listen as well.
А переделайте его заново, вот вам мое предложение. В таком виде он говно. Вы его почините, он все равно будет говном. Придумайте что-нибудь другое для него.
That we're testing right now. But these are changes that we want to make before the release for sure.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to say on this one right now, because 2 days after the release of PTV, that's where we are.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Phil, you are here today to talk to us about changes to Survivor's hair.
Yep.
Да, это очень важно. Прически. Других проблем в игре нету. Кидает к азиатам каждый раз, это не проблема. Ждешь по 5 минут, это не проблема. Постоянно крашится игра, это тоже не проблема. Проблема это волося. Больше других проблем в игре, видимо, реально нет.
I think that that's the before. Yeah, that's we can see that there are some really weird spots there. So with the new approach, we play with the physics, the
Ребята, баги мы не починим, зато у вас теперь новые красивые волося.
Newer games, so we were trying to be on par with them and not have old tech. So if we can switch to the other one.
So the reason, so the reason we're showing this today is because a lot of people had a lot of questions on this. So this is why we're taking the time here to explain it.
Yeah, and our main goal is to make improvement, and we're still listening to the feedbacks, even in the team. So it's an ongoing process, like I was saying. So yeah, if we're checking Jake, we can see that it's a bit harder to see because he's a darker hair, but
Какой импозантный паренек.
Better animation, more the mesh were optimized to. We improved the attachment socket system, so we can attach cosmetic on characters. This maybe for some people doesn't mean anything, but this is preventing some issue we have with the instability and the dynamic hair moving.
Баги чинить мы не будем, дисконнектчиков наказывать не будем, будем делать новые волося, которые мы взяли с ваших жоп.
Areas. So this one is very important to us. So it's taking a bit more.
Ну продолжайте рассказывать про волося. Про Ghostface сколько там? Пару минут порассказывали. А мы знаем проблему, мы ее починим. И минут 5 уже про волося.
You think that would be easy, but it's one of the things that is always hard to nail.
Всем пофиг.
Even with Nia. Well, if we look at Nia, I think we did a pretty nice.
Он почти это сказал. Он почти это сказал, ублюдок. Pretty good job.
Yeah, and the other thing is also consistency. So since there was different artists working on the hair, there was some difference in between the quality.
Пофиг.
So we're trying to standardize the process, the pipeline. And since we're making new cosmetic, we need to be consistent in the look. And the production.
Вы там что, озабоченные?
The older and newer hair are the same. Well, not the same, but in the same direction of thought and process.
Awesome. And not all the hair has been touched so far, right? Like
No.
This is a process we're going to go through a bunch per release, whatever.
Yes.
Very cool.
It's ongoing, but surely it's really important to us.
Что у вас в
Be
банках?
expected for other hairstyle in the future as well.
Небось гердос, который вы втираете в свои
I know you're
письки, а
super
потом
busy,
придумываете
so
новые
if you wanna
волося.
stay, you're welcome to do so.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Next to Arvat, who doesn't want to stay next to Arvat?
That's so kind.
That's so beautiful.
Is that autodidact, your perk? That's what it is, right? Self-taught? I think that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous.
All right, guys. So we have a lot of questions, and it's starting with Freddy. Lots of Freddy questions after the live stream last week. We kind of brushed on, the Freddy power and.
Да, когда вы рассказали, что теперь из себя будет представлять Фредди, многие обосрались и стали задавать вопросы.
When the survivors are in the dream world.
So yes, this was one of the areas of frustration, mostly because some survivors in particular didn't know that their aura was being shown outside of the terror radius, and they would get screwed by this quite often. There were other ways that we could show the players that they're being revealed, but we're not exploring that at the moment. So he's no longer going to have the aura reading while survivors in the dream world. It's part of the refactor. He's going to have other stuff.
Это была фишка Фредди, придурок.
So traps, right? Just to remind
Каким-то нубам было очень сложно играть против полностью невидимого мана. О боже.
Wake up object now for consistency.
a lot more dynamic.
And smacking people at all times.
Yeah, smacking people
important.
all the time.
All the time.
All right.
Without that claw. Let's go.
Other question: will we lose all our Freddy add-ons when the rework goes live?
No. So to start, you'll be able to keep all your add-ons that you've amassed so far. There might be changes in.
Низкий поклон, аддоны мы не потеряем. Но что-то мне подсказывает, что вы их переделаете. Я прав?
People were able to keep all of their add-ons, and any add-ons that change rarity would change with it. I think that was was it the clapper that got like super ultra rare and like badass, and people had a ton of them?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one. So we might not be doing that again, but things like that might happen.
So stack on these add-ons.
Whoa,
You never know.
Don't tell them to stack.
It's already done. It's already done.
I knew it when I said it.
Are we changing Freddy's perk with the rework?
Yeah,
Thank
not
you.
the update.
Дура с
At the moment,
заплетающимся
there are
языком.
changes for Freddy's perks.
Okay, so the perks stay the same. So if you're using them on another character, it should not.
Вообще низкий поклон. Хотя бы перки не троните.
When Freddy is rework, will there be an indicator for him or when he is flickering during micro sleep so that he can take advantage of the flickers for mind games?
Cool.
Yeah, so I was current
Keep
Freddy
going,
can
go.
count during the dream transition to know when he's flickering.
А мне почему-то кажется, что ваша новая механика с микрослипами говно.
That will be possible in the rework.
So it will not be possible in the rework. I said cool because I really like that people were using that mechanic. That's exactly what it was meant to be used for. Ultimately, right now, microsleep is basically trying to screw with survivors' perception of where you are. So at a certain distance, you'll be intermittent, so they might not know whether you're coming towards them. You might be able to change direction or whatnot. It's about 16 meters. That's a bit hard to understand in Dead by Daylight terms and in distance. But you might get the hang of it if you're playing Myers, for example, and Myers has a 60-meter terror radius in Tier 2. Ultimately, beyond that point to 32 meters, you will be intermittent, so getting behind things or coming out of nowhere will be quite surprising to survivors.
But you will still not know exactly when you're visible for them.
No, it's hard to tell the killer himself because every survivor might be at different distances, so you wouldn't know exactly who you're flickering for.
Ну да, теперь угадывайте, видит вас сурвы или нет.
So it won't be there.
Okay. Can we see the new add-ons, or at least some of them, today, for example?
Хороший
I don't have any
вопрос.
images, but all the add-ons will be the same. So like the jump rope will be the same. You're gonna have the willow shirt, the green dress, the blue dress, so on and so forth. But they're gonna have different effects. Every add-on has been changed so far. So to give you just a few sneak peeks, right now you'll be able to use an add-on to switch between snares and pallets. In addition to that, we'll still have an action speed slowdown, but only available through add-ons. That will be the jump rope and the chains, the chain and the different ropes. but it will be at a lower amount, so not 50% like it was before. Players found that quite frustrating as well, just doing an M1 action forever. In addition to that, you will have increased regression and aura reading when survivors fail sabotage, healing, or repair skill checks. And just as a little sneak peek, the red paintbrush, which is an ultra rare add-on for Freddy, will be changed so that all survivors start in the dream world and failed skill checks do not wake them up.
Ooh, that's
Круто, да. Обосраться.
Yeah, it's an ultra rare. It's not gonna
Будет
be
супер-мега редкий аддон, который
So, there was
не
a
позволит
question
сурвам
that came in
просыпаться от
from
зафейленных
how
скилл-чеков.
will the dream
А нахера это надо с учетом того, что у вас теперь будут стоять какие-то хери, чтобы можно было к ним подбежать и проснуться там буквально за пару секунд. Оно и нахер не
I
надо.
didn't see it. What?
Это ультра редкий аддон?
Okay,
Yeah.
can you repeat the question, please?
So, Dream Master Achievement. Is it going to be changed? How is it going to work?
That's pull 200 survivors into the dream?
Yeah.
So survivors will be pulled passively into the dream. That will count towards the achievement.
So, play Freddy and you should be alright.
You're going to be fine.
Всем насрать на ачивки. Давай дальше.
And just as a thing, I don't know if I said you're going to switch between snares and pallets. I meant that you're going to take snares and switch to pallets.
Okay.
For those of you who didn't know. We weren't sure about that last week. We're more sure about this week. Freddy testing is still ongoing.
Yeah. Another question that comes up.
И мы
a lot,
сделаем его говном.
what's the advantage of waking up?
Таким же, как Крик.
The advantage of waking up is that you don't have to deal with the lullaby. The lullabies are harder to use to pinpoint where Freddy is, so he can really come up out of nowhere. In addition to that, his add-ons and his dream abilities, so like the trap and the snare and the pallets, will make it so it's a lot harder for survivors to escape Freddy while they're being in chases.
Specifically the slowdown, right?
Specifically the snare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which you can, so you don't get a slowdown when you use these abilities. So when you place a trap, you're moving at your natural 4.6 meters a second. Same thing goes with the pallets. So you can really use them actively in a chase. It will take a little time to arm, so 2 seconds, but you'll place it in front of you, and then it will grow to its pool of blood, if you will. There was some really sick animations coming out of there too, but we'll get into that later. And then when the survivors come around for their second loop, they will get slowed. You can always place this ahead of time as well.
Ну-ну, красиво чешешь. Но может быть вы действительно его сделаете таким. Будет польза от ваших этих новых ловушек. Если они смогут действительно замедлять. Может быть, как-то да.
We're going to give information when we're getting closer to the release date on this one. That's why today we're not going to talk about this. We're still in development.
Yeah.
Unless you have something to say. You were like nodding.
No, I can't.
I can't. Okay. Oh, you're just teasing everyone,
but
right?
it's really cool. It's, sorry.
All right.
Придурки сами не знают, что
questions
делают.
about maps as well. So future map rework milestones are mostly focused on one specific map, or is it possible that we will see several map reworked at once? So when we were on the live stream last week, we had Matt Walker with us that explained. So if you missed it, you can go and check it back out. That was really explaining how much work is going to be put on those reworks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not simply, changing a couple of things. Doing these map reworks doesn't mean that we're not touching anything else in other.
Ну понятно, короче, новых карт не будет, будут реворки.
It's just that we are concentrating on these maps. We're offering a lot more replayability. We're literally building more maps as well.
Когда? Скажи, когда будут новые карты?
Yes.
In time. It won't be a quick process. Unfortunately, I think it's really cool what he's doing. I'm having a lot of fun with it myself. Walker and his team. But ultimately, it will take a little time to get through each of the different variants and themes.
It's the same thing as the hair and everything. It's an ongoing process, but we're getting there slowly but surely.
We're gonna mention this a few times. I think. Yeah.
So we're going on more general questions that people are asking. So starting with the first one, as the team look at removing secret offerings from the loading screen, there are few enough potential secret offering that is prevent them from being a secret.
So thank you.
Боже, что за бред вы несете?
Ultimately, that was the guy who asked. I didn't want to say his name. I've seen this question come up often in forums and Reddit and on Steam. And I wanted to mention that we do have thoughts on this. There's no changes that we can announce just at the moment, but it is something that we want to let you guys know that it is on our radar. We do want to look into doing something for this. It could be something as simple as not showing an offering for the killer at that point, or not showing them at all. But this is a decision that we have to take and go through with to make sure that it doesn't compromise the integrity of the game.
All right, so Medal of Men, when is that rework going live? And
А что с этим
are
перком не
we
так?
going live like it is in the PTB? Right
Если
now?
что,
Okay,
речь
so
идет
first
о
question,
перчатке
you
Эша.
can test it now in the PTB, which is what you already said, and it should go live when the chapter comes out.
Okay.
With that being said, we got some fair amount.
А я не догадался на ПТБ протестить его. Что с ним было не так?
To get Medal of Man to trigger off. In addition to that, Medal of Man right now is triggerable while you're healthy, whereas before it was only triggerable while you were injured. We are looking, so, you know, to kind of like segue into that, we are going to be removing the safe on hooks for the release, and we're going to be making it so that you have to be injured to trigger the Medal of Man activation, so the ignoring of a hit.
Okay. So that's planned for the rework, the release,
Yeah.
or it is.
То
planned
есть
for
full
later?
HP он теперь не сработает? Я тебя правильно понял? Хер в кепке.
And it will not be like it is live. It will be a bridge between.
All right. Are you still actively buffing or reworking weaker perk?
Yes. So this is an ongoing process. You know, we were talking about earlier. I said I was going to come back in other questions.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's like foreshadowing, and that's what they call it in movies. There should be a few perks updated in each release. Sometimes it's not possible to do as many as we'd like. Everyone in the game is one I'd like, but obviously there is time and place for everything, and we need to dedicate our resources accordingly. So there should be more perks coming along that will be getting changes. I hope you liked, like, Pop Goes the Weasel, Unbreakable, Streetwise. Let me know your feedback on those things. I would love to hear them.
Тебя спросили, какие перки ты поменяешь и когда. Ты развел философию и так и не ответил. Мы все сделаем, держитесь там.
Yes. So this is similar to the perks and the maps and the hair. We're continuing to update our killers, but it takes a fair amount of resources. Specifically for the Nightmare, it took a crap ton of resources.
Yeah, but that was a rework.
But that was a rework.
Oh, the question was asking a rework.
They're saying rework. Oh, they're saying they said updating. Yeah, that's fair.
Yes.
I just wanted to say the Nightmare himself is like a big rework, whereas the updates are a little more easier to do, but some of them are not as high priority than others. So, for example, we looked at the Legion recently.
Да, Легион вы уже обосрали, молодцы.
Now, and we've done
Сейчас мы обозрем Найтмэра.
The remaining killer list is still like the Nurse as one of the high priorities, Doctor and Cannibal.
О боже.
Cannibal's been asked often, so
Ради бога, не трогайте доктора, упыри.
one of the things that comes back often, at least as a suggestion, is that the charge action, when it finishes, should start the actual chainsaw rush instead of juggling it currently like you currently can do, and you try to guess when you get to the end. So that's one of the tweaks you could possibly do. We could also make it so that when you get to the end, there's a color change, maybe an animation change, really showing you that something is happening.
So to segue on this, there was also a question about missing ultra rare add-ons for some killers.
Yeah.
So does that come with an update, for example?
Yeah. So when we look at these killers,
Слава богу, у меня никакие аддоны не пропадали. Просто
we're
так.
going to be changing all of Freddy's add-ons. In the past, I believe we added a new ultra add-on for the Trapper, if I remember that correctly.
Yes.
When we did.
Ну, на траппере я не играю, пофиг, что вы там ведете.
The next killer updates that will be coming, which includes obviously the Nurse and the Chainsaw Bros and so on and so forth. There is some love to be handed around.
All right. There was also 2 questions we added last minute. The stun effect, the new stun effect on pallets.
The VFX.
The VFX, yes. There's a lot of feedback on that one. So is that going to stay that way? What are we doing with this? I don't know if you guys noticed. Probably.
А что было не так со
So right now when you get
стан-эффектом?
stunned, you get a red vignette that comes up while you're doing the stun animation. We've got some feedback from the players that this is a bit too strong. Right now we're looking internally to find out what
то
the
есть,
balance is here.
когда я играл за Крика и получал по роже палеты, и вот было краснение по бокам, соответственно, это не только для него, это для всех, и это посчитали неудобным багом?
How does that? What is actually a
Visual effect.
Visual effect.
Visual effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just want to make it so simple. I was gonna say there's gonna be like this virtual.
There's no virtual effects
Fantastic.
god
Oh God.
meaning. No.
Well, now I'm lost. I'm lost personally.
All right. Another question.
Сплошной стрим из одних пиздехахоньков и смехуёчков.
So we changed enduring, right?
Yes.
And we didn't touch the DS stun.
No.
So why is that so?
Что вы там
So you're
поменяете?
referring to the fact that I mentioned back in the day that we might revisit enduring in the
Yes.
DS stun, especially if enduring was
I am
modified by
I
the
am
DS stun.
referring exactly to this.
Yeah, you have a good memory. God damn it.
Everyone, they have a better memory.
Да, мы все помним. Это ты правильно сказал,
Ultimately,
Толстуха.
right now, I think Decisive Strike is in a good place. I don't see as much frustration towards it. I think it's working and doing what it's intended to do. I think the time frame is okay for the moment. With the changes to enduring, I'm going to continue to monitor with the team, obviously, to see if it is problematic. And if it is problematic, we will reduce it.
Okay.
At the moment, I do not believe it is that
Ну,
problematic.
все понятно, как стандартно.
I will hear
Держитесь,
from
мы все сделаем.
and we'll see what we can do for further releases. But for the moment, it will not be changing. And for those of you who are not sure about what happened to enduring, enduring went from a faster recovery, which meant that you were recovering in 1.14 seconds, to a flat reduction, which means that we basically divide the stun time by 2, and now it's happening in 1 second instead of 2 seconds. So
Alright.
it's actually a small buff, but it only affects pallets.
Я тебя правильно понял? Теперь станется от палеток
They're
будем
asking
меньше?
you to voice act the future male character, but you already were a voice actor for a lot of character in the game, right?
Yeah.
Specifically killers too.
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, a new one.
And
Oh.
Jeff too, right?
Jeff. Yeah, Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff and what else?
I think there's 6.
6?
Куриный вы о чем?
Jeff, Trapper, Billy, Wraith,
Trapper, Wraith,
Billy, Hillbilly.
All those
Hillbilly,
grunts is that guy.
Freddy.
Oh, you did the
Yeah. I
Can you do it now?
No.
Ah.
In your dream.
I'll have to go to sleep soon then.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Phil.
On this was a kind of a quick Q&A today.
Yeah.
We normally have a lot more, but we're only 2 days into PTB. We have a lot of work to do. And I'm gonna
Извините, что вам подкинули работы. Просим
Просим
прощения. Вы просто сделали говно.
Thank you for showing up. It was absolutely amazing. The PTV is live currently. You can test the ghost face. You can test the ghost face, but we're also working on it on our side.
Я на
as
ПТБ
well.
больше не сунусь. Нахрена мне
Reminder,
тестить
there's a
Гостфейса
blood
дальше?
coming
Я
up,
понял, что он
June
говно.
14 to
Скажите, когда вы его
15.
That's
поменяете?
next Friday, right?
Yes.
Хотя бы до релиза
Yes.
успеете.
Yes, it is.
Not tomorrow, the week after. And check out the forums for all the activities and all the anniversary related raffles and contests. Thank you guys for joining us today. It was amazing to have you.
Pleasure.
It was pleasant to be here.
Awesome.
More than pleasant.
And
Thank you
well,
for being here, Phil.
Мы вам не
For
мешаем.
having me. Yeah.
Вы после стрима чпокаться пойдете?
Style as well. Thank you, Phil.
Also true.
All right, guys. This is it. The awkward moment.
Офигеть. И это все, что они сказали. Не волнуйтесь, мы починим Крика. Я правда так и не понял, как они его починят. Чисто вот уберут этот баккамеры, что он палится за километр, и все. Вы его не почините. Он как и был говном, так и останется. Ну, станет чуть меньше говном. Про Фредди сказали. Перки не тронем. Аддоны тронем. Будет супер-мега важный аддон, который не позволит, соответственно, сурвам просыпаться от зафейльных скиллчеков. Но это им, правда, и не надо. У нас теперь на карте везде стоит какая-то хрень, которая будет. Очень интересно, за сколько она будет. Можно будет успеть добежать до парня, который около нее просыпается, вот если ты за ним все это время гонишься, или нет. В общем, непонятно совершенно с механикой Фредди, что будет. Вроде, я так понял, будет чуть меньше времени стана от палеты. И эффект вот этого красного свечения, когда получил в лицо, тоже что-то с ним сделают. В общем, бред полный. Ладно, смертные, спасибо, что это посмотрели. Подписывайтесь, ставьте лайки. А все, что я хочу сказать разрабам... Да идите вы